All right, guys, welcome to a new episode of Patient Journey Mastery. This is a little bit different. I have got Julia Reese, the founder of Bright and Bold Consulting, with us today. And we're going to show you in this live masterclass how to build your very own AI chief of staff. It's super exciting. Welcome, Julia. I would love for you to give us a little bit of a rundown on who you are in case anyone here hasn't come across you before.
Thank you so much for having me, Brendan. Very excited to show you all what an AI Chief of Staff can do for your practice. I have been in dentistry now for over 10 years and worked as Marketing and Operations Director for the Coastal Dental Care Group, a group of 17 dental businesses stretched between Byron Bay and Redland Bay. And I have started my own consulting business, Bright and Bold Consulting, on the side where I help dental practice owners and practice managers with the commercial side of the business and ensuring that the practice runs really well and smoothly, and so that they can mainly focus on the clinical side of things. One of my clients asked, okay, so we have to hire a lot and it always takes a lot of time to go through the manual steps like writing job ads, writing position descriptions, the onboarding and so on. And I was like, well, there is something that we actually can do that helps you with that. And yeah, so that's where the AI Chief of Staff was born for the dental practice, which we'll show you today.
I can't believe in 60 minutes we're going to show people how to essentially do things that I think would sit on someone's desk for like 5 or 10 hours before it even gets attended to, just because it's such hard work. So I'm super excited about this, Julia. Some FAQs maybe we'll quickly run through before we launch into it. For those of you that are joining us, or if you're watching this replay, you can use Claude, ChatGPT, or Gemini. All of that will work with the instructions we're going to plug in today. What I'll be showing you when I share my screen is obviously we've got a company membership with Claude. So you'll essentially be seeing Claude Pro on my screen. And then the projects and skills features that come with that just make it so much easier to build what Julia and I are going to show you today. Julia, maybe a note on practice data safety. I'm sure a lot of dental practices would be asking this question about using Claude. What assurances can we give them?
So very important with what we do today, we don't use any patient data, we don't use any of your employee data. We are basically using Claude as a writing assistant. So everything that we put in is basically position-based. So this is your job ad title, like salary range or hourly rate range that they will be on, and obviously the tasks that they will do, but none of that will actually have a name attached to it. So we are good from the compliance side.
Fantastic. Now, for those of you that have seen the workbook already, I'm basically sharing the workbook up here on my screen. Make sure that you've got your Claude account ready to go, or if you've got your ChatGPT or Gemini. Hopefully, for those of you that are here already, have your logo and your brand fonts for your business, because we will be setting all of that up today. And a few notes around, I suppose, a page or two that already sounds like your business, like maybe your website about page, or newsletter, or a welcome email that you might already have. And we're going to go live today and recruiting for a role that you might be trying to fill in your practice. So hopefully you've got some information about the role, a rough idea about the pay, the hours, the perks, and maybe some information about what people do when they actually see that job ad. So do they respond to admin@abcdental.com.au, something like that. That's the information we'd love you to have on hand. As we talked about, Julia, by the end of this session, can you give us a quick rundown on what attendees are going to get out of giving us an hour of their time today?
Yes, all of you should walk away with your own AI Chief of Staff that is customized for just your practice. That is why Brandon and I are not just doing a demo with you on the screen, but you're building it alongside us so that it is fully customized. And that is, the more you put in now, like the logos, the copy, the more it will sound like you and actually reflect your brand. We'll give you a job ad. So you have a job ad ready to go. It doesn't need to be like a job ad that you're recruiting for now. It can be something that pops up regularly. If you're regularly recruiting DAs or receptionists, you can just choose one of those and you will get the matching position description as well. In the end, we'll have all of that saved and build a reusable skill. So no matter what position you advertise for, you can reuse these steps really easily and advertise for another role.
This is so cool. This is just touching the surface, I suppose, of what practices can be doing with AI, Julia. And I might take the opportunity also for the upcoming session that you've got in Sydney on the 5th of September. Tell us a little bit more about what you're doing with dentists in Sydney on the 5th of September.
We'll go through this, but in a lot wider context. So we'll look at your operational side too, not just the team, the people side. We'll go through something like your SOPs, your standard operating procedures, how to draft those with AI, how to do daily huddle agendas so that you can always stay on track and on top of those kind of things. We'll go through onboarding checklists, writing replies to reviews, and also how to build custom dashboards for your practice to see where you can improve performance.
This is so cool. And I really appreciate the generosity you've had in coming along to share with our clients today. I suppose a sneak peek of what you're going to be running through in that session. But if any of our clients or anyone jumping on this call today or watching this replay is interested in coming along to your session in Sydney, all they have to do when they click this link or scan the QR code is use the code Searchbox20. And that's going to give them a special offer that they can avail of to, I think, 20% off, right?
Yeah, it will be 20% off the course price. So yeah, that's a deal, especially for your Searchbox clients.
That's fantastic, Julia. So hopefully you guys are ready to get into it. What we're going to do now is, if you haven't already, please team, scan this QR code. So on your laptop with you, you're going to have us. You can scan this QR code. We're going to have it on our screen as well. This is going to take you to essentially what Julia's created is a Notion document with a bunch of scripts that we're going to copy paste out and build our Claude or GPT or Gemini project. Are you ready, Julia?
We're ready.
Amazing. I'm so pumped about this. So here is our Notion doc. So if I scan that QR code, it was going to open up the Notion doc. Lead me through this. I've got Claude ready to go. Let's make a project.
Yes, awesome. Firstly, before we jump into creating a project, we just want to make sure that we are on the safe side. So as we said before, we don't want AI to train on our data. So all of your accounts would have an option in the privacy section to make sure that you turn off sharing data with the model to help improve Claude, or if you are a ChatGPT, in the data console or in Gemini, in your Gemini apps activity, and make sure that you turn that off. So there's a toggle, just turn that off.
That's very important to do. And I'm running a company account, so my process is slightly different. But obviously, if you've got a Claude Pro subscription, just click that hyperlink that Julia's providing and just toggle off. And there's your steps there. Now, let's say we've done that. What do we do next?
Awesome. We'll jump into the actual getting a project set up. So why are we building a project? So this is the project that you will keep coming back to and that has all your details in it. So imagine it as a little a brain that remembers what's happened, and that is all stored in the project. So you can name this project AI Chief of Staff.
Is everyone seeing my screen right now while I'm doing this live? Yep, just give me a thumbs up, guys. Great. Okay. And then what are we trying to achieve? Just a really quick summary here normally, isn't it, Julie? We don't have to overcook it too much with the summary that we put in here.
Will be for now, it will just be our recruitment supporter.
And then if you're running a pro account that's not a company account, you would just simply have your own visibility. But for me, I'm running a company account, so I can actually show this project and make it visible for my entire team here at Searchbox. So for now, I'll keep it private and I'll go create project. Here we are. We're in our project now. This is cool. What do we do now, Julia?
Awesome. As you can see on the right side, we have a memory section, an instruction section, and a file section. All of those are empty at the moment. And with our first prompt, we will start giving Claude a bit of a memory and some instructions. So if we are copying the first prompt over from
This is from Notion.
Mm-hmm.
So Notion makes it really easy. We don't have to try and click and drag. We can just go copy. So I'm just going to copy that. And where would you like me to paste that? Into instructions?
No, we'll go into the chat.
Yep.
Wonderful. And we'll just paste it in there.
This is what it should look like on your screen, guys. Just paste it into the chat. Don't try pasting it in instructions. This is your first sort of thing that we're going to do. So does this look correct, Julia?
That looks correct. And just check at the end that double sure that we have Opus 4.8. Some of you might have Fable available, but we don't want to burn through tokens just yet. So we'll keep it on Opus 4.8. That will be completely fine for the tasks that we're doing. And with this first prompt, as you can see, number one, it will create the voice profile for our practice, and two, the project instructions. So the voice profile will make sure that when we draft job ads, when we draft position descriptions, that it actually does sound like your practice and not like generic AI. And the project instructions, they will go over to the right side in the project there where you can see that little instructions tab, and they will tell Claude what to do all the time. So yeah, if you just want to hit go here, Brendan, then it will start interviewing you and asking you some multiple choice questions. Everyone else follow along as Brendan does his interview, you do yours. And maybe Brendan, while we do that, maybe we can play some music.
Yeah, that's really cool. Now, let me see if this is going to work. So I'm going to hit play on my Spotify. Give me a thumbs up if this starts coming through on your sound. It's the first time I'm trying it. I have a feeling, Julia, there might be a setting in Zoom where I need to enable. I'm just going to start that now. I'm not sure if that's coming through.
No.
No. Oh, no. The technology is failing us today. Well, hopefully for everyone, their Claude system's working. Because my Spotify was not. It looks like it's done what it needed to do, Julia. It's given me an output now.
Yeah, it starts interviewing you now with questions. So
What's my practice name? So let's go through and start filling some of that out. So just to recap where some of you might be at, because I think we had a couple of people join the call just in the last couple of minutes. We're in the Notion doc. We've just pasted in this prompt into a new project. And me and Julia are just about to go through now and start filling out the Q&A. So question number one, what's your practice name? Should we try DIA, Julia, because you're familiar with that? Or we could do
now
co-supervision.
we'll do my fake practice. It's called Brightwater Dental, and it's based in Burleigh Heads.
Did you say dry water?
Brightwater Dental.
There you go. Okay, cool. Great. Brightwater Dental based in Burleigh Heads.
Yeah.
Great.
And we
kind of
are
clinic.
looking after general dental and family dentistry.
This is good. The more detail we provide, the better, but let's give it that. For those of you that are following along, please make sure that you're keeping up. I know that this is so valuable. In an hour, you can literally have a chief of staff up and running if you're following along. Okay, question number two. How warm and formal do you like to sound with your patients? And how do you normally address people? I quite like the hi, Sarah. What do we think?
The Brightwater Dental team would be how we sign off.
Great. And then I'm going to respond to that. The most important thing that we're doing here, and I love the way Julia's created this, is that we started a project and then we started a chat. Please do not try and start a chat without having a project already, because I suppose that is going to stop us from being able to actually do what we're going to do at the end, which is make this a recurring thing that you can come back to. Question number three, how would you describe the personality that you want to come across in? And for what example? Calm and reassuring, friendly and upbeat. Can we go friendly and upbeat?
We can go friendly and upbeat.
Done. And for those of you that are playing along at home, I just want to know who's using Claude, who's using GPT, and who's using Gemini. So in the chat, could you please just drop a note to let me and Julia know who's using Claude, who's using GPT, and who's using Gemini. All right. Question number four, are there any particular words or phrases that you find yourself using a lot, like a standard greeting, a sign-off line, or little turns of phrase that feel like Brightwater? For example, see you soon, we can't wait to meet you, or anything else that comes to mind. Is there anything that this clinic has like a tagline, Julia?
Well, we can put a couple of phrases in that we would use at Brightwater Dental. It's like, we're looking forward to meeting you.
Yep.
We're here to look after your family's dental care.
Wonderful.
And we're just one phone call away for all your dental related questions.
Amazing. Three things. Go. Okay, so far we're seeing chat and Claude, ChatGPT, and Claude. It's like a 50-50 split. Okay, now on the flip side, is there anything you never say? This is interesting. This is very important. Heavy clinical terms. You've given some really good briefings into this question here. So how would we want to respond to this?
We never say that we're specialists.
Yep.
We can add the pain-free dentistry.
So we want to avoid saying that?
Yep.
Great.
And we also want to avoid anything that sounds like cheap dentistry, like low value.
Yeah, that's a great prompt. Excellent. Claude's just confirmed it's going to stay clear of that. It also understands APRA guidelines. Okay, question number 6. Do you prefer writing short and to the point or a little bit more detailed? Let's go with short and to the point. Question 7, what fonts do you want to use in your branding? Just names are fine. There might be one for headings and one for body text. Do you have anything in particular that you want to run with here, Julia?
Well, let's go with the very standard ones. You can just go with like Times New Roman for headings and then Arial for body copy.
There we go.
If you do have a brand guide, obviously make sure that you refer to that and double check what your actual business's fonts are if you do have some that you use.
This is a really good time if you're doing this live, guys. This is where that document you would have brought prepared, your brand guide, can slot right in here. And you do that just by clicking the plus button and you go add file or project. Am I right, Julia?
Yes.
Wonderful. So we're creating this dental practice from scratch just as a test project for you guys to see and play along with. So we're just going to put some text in there. But like I say, if you're building this for yourself, make sure that's where you put your brand guide in. Question number 8. Last question. Is there anything you always want me to do or never do when I am writing for you? For example, include your phone number in patient-facing messages or always end with a particular line, never make clinical claims or anything else specific to how Brightwater does things. How would you like to answer that?
We will always give them a link to book online and a phone number to call.
Brilliant. Just those two?
We'll just run with those two for now.
Great. Okay, so the interview is done. All right. Wow, look what happened. This is so cool. Claude is at work. It's giving me project instructions. I can see here my .md file has popped up over here, Julia. And I'm just going to take you guys back to the Notion doc, download the voice profile the AI created. So we're going to show you how to download that. And then in Claude, we're going to open up the project knowledge and upload the stuff that Claude is asking us to upload. Once this is done, we're going to be off to the races with our own AI chief of staff. Hope you guys are excited. So Julia, I'm just going to go here and download as MD.
Perfect.
So that's straight away downloaded to MD. I'm going to open this up over here. So it's just available.
You can also go, if you go on the little arrow next to the, and you can go straight add to project.
I love that. That's such a good point. So let's go add to project. And it looks like it says in the corner here, file added to project. Incredible.
And you've downloaded the copy in case that you need it later. So you've got it there. And now we're going to go copy those project instructions
which are all of this. And I'm just going to use those two squares, copy. And should I duck out of this and go back to the project?
Yeah. So if you click on your AI chief of staff.
This is my project. Hope you all saw what I did there. And now I'm over to instructions.
Over to instructions and paste it there.
So because I'd already copied, I've just used the Control V on my laptop. And here we are. I'm going to go save instructions. Now, are we ready to get started with the fun stuff? Are we going to write a job ad, guys?
Let's go.
Step number 2, let's write a job ad. Okay, Julia, let's get started writing the job ad.
Yes, let's copy that prompt over.
Yep.
And jump back into our new chat. Perfect. And paste it in there. Okay, one quick note. People might want to know, why do we start a new chat here? So if you think about Claude like an actual brain, it does lose context with time. So it does use its capability to produce good output. So the longer your chat is with Claude, the worse the output is going to be. So now we have all our details from the last chat already in the project instructions and in our voice profile MD. So we can start a completely fresh chat with a new context window for our job ad.
It's a very, very good point. Okay, so we're just about to paste in this new job ad in a new chat, making sure that we've got Opus 4.8 running. So that's all set up. Let's go. So just for the rest of you that are following along as a check, I want to make sure you know where we're up to. So we're on section 2. You've already completed building your chief of staff. If you need to go back and watching this in a replay, if you need to go back and just cover over how we did that, feel free to do that now. We are now in the process of creating a job ad. So I've just copied over this section from step 2. Let's see what Claude has prepared for me now. Here we go. Okay. I just love this so much more than ChatGPT personally for me, because I love these ways that Claude makes it easy for me to not have to type out answers. What role should we hire for today, Julia?
I think we'll hire for a dental assistant today.
Okay. Brightwater needs a dental assistant. Let's go. All right. Is this going to be a full-time role?
Yes, let's go full-time.
Is it going to be based at the practice location in Burleigh Heads?
Yes.
Okay. How do we want to handle pay in the ad? Do we want to show a range, which I see a lot of practices doing now, or do we just want to say competitive based on experience?
We will make it competitive based on experience.
Cool. What level of experience do we want our DA to have?
Let's say we want someone with 2 years or more experience.
Okay. What are the must-have requirements that we want to include?
Let's say we want someone with a Cert 3 or 4 in dental assisting and up to
Let's,
date immunization. That's
yep.
a requirement, anyways. But the first aid and CPR, let's just say we could get them to do that if they were to join our team and they didn't have a valid first aid and CPR. We could always sign them up for a course. So let's just say we only make those two the requirements for now.
Great. And then we can always add something else if there was any specific additional skills and tick that, and Claude would add that into the list. So I'm just click submit. Ooh, what practice management system happens to be used at Brightwater?
Well, let's go with Dental for Windows. I think that is quite common.
Yep. What are some beautiful perks of the practice that we should feature here?
Then we do offer discounted, let's say we do offer discounted dental treatment, just the point just below extra leave. And let's say we also do recognition for good work.
Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic.
Perfect.
Three is pretty good.
Let's just go with those three.
All right. What's a specific thing that makes your practice a good place to work? Something that a candidate wouldn't get anywhere else? Maybe it could be the team, the patients, or the way that you run the day, anything real.
Let's say that we are located 2 minutes away from Burleigh Beach.
What a beautiful part of the world.
Yes. And we can say that we are right next to a coffee shop that supplies us with free coffee.
Oof. Fantastic. Okay.
Who would say no to that?
I know. Applicants are going to be through the roof now. Okay. What tone do you want for the ad? Warm and energetic, professional and understated, or punchy and bold?
As you said before, we are warm and friendly, I think.
Yep,
Is how you put it. Yes. So let's make it warm and energetic again here so that it matches what we are when we are patient facing.
Okay. How should people apply? Give me the email address and application link and a closing date if you have one. Guys, this is a really great way to become creative as well with your applicants. So, you know, at Searchbox, what we do is we ask people to provide like a 2-minute video and email their application with their video link to an email address. What do you do, Julia?
Oh, I love that idea, but we usually just get the old school resume and cover letter.
Yep. So send your resume and cover letter to admin@brightwaterdental.com.au.
Yes, perfect.
Closing date is August 1st, 2026. How's that?
That sounds perfect. Awesome. And just a quick tip, if you are time poor or also want to do this even faster, there is that little microphone button next to the send button in the Claude chat. So you can actually talk to it and voice record your answers. Yes, so Brendan was to press that button, he could actually talk and it would transcribe whatever he says. So if you have to give it a longer answer, especially when it comes to the questions before around the voice of the practice, things you say, things you don't want to say, that is super handy and makes it a lot quicker.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So here we go. We're up to all the information Claude has needed from us to write a markdown file. And Julia is now going to guide us through in a second how we use this markdown file to then move on to the next thing. So let me just run through what Claude's output is. So here's your job ad for the dental assistant role, ready to download and edit. It's also given me a little bit of information about what it's done. And it's already pre-prompting me as to whether to build a matching position description. But before I move on with that, where to now, Julia?
Yes. So look, this is one thing that you basically can copy and paste straight into, like if you advertise on Seek or wherever you do your job ads, you can just download it as Markdown file, or you can just click on copy and paste it straight over to Seek as well. So if you copy it.
So when I press copy, I'm just going to open up, like, for example, like, so you guys know how easy this is, I'm going to open up a separate, like just a Google Sheet or a Google Doc, and I'm going to show you how easy the copy and paste function is. So I'm just going to pull over on my screen now, like a empty Google Doc. Everyone can see an empty Google Doc on my page now. I'm just going to go Control V. There you go. There is the markdown file content that I've just copied over. You can do exactly the same thing in your directly into your Seek job advertisement. So I'm just going to pull this away here. That's awesome, Julia.
Yes. And now let's say, before we move on, just another quick tip. If you wanted to have a shorter version for social media, because obviously this is quite extensive, you can ask Claude, can you write me a short version of this for socials?
Shall we try that now?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So it's very quickly going to pull together a summarized version of this job ad.
Awesome. And while it does that, if you want to download that markdown file already. We'll use that in the
Yep.
next time.
Fantastic. And
Perfect.
so hopefully you guys can see that dental assistant job ad.md. These are all going into my downloads folder. So I can see, I can open up that folder and that's all in there along with the voice profile MD from before. Super cool, Julia. So I'm just going to go back here to our Notion doc and we're at the point now where we are going to maybe create a matching position description as well.
Exactly. As you can see, we have that output on there for the social ad already. We're hiring dental assistant, burly heads, nice and crisp and short for the socials that we
This is
can
so
just
cool.
copy and paste over into a Facebook or Instagram post.
Absolutely. So we can take that and there we go. So let's say we've done that. We've done the socials. We've got this drawn up on C. Shall we create a job description?
Yes, let's go back to your AI Chief of Staff and we'll start a new chat.
So let me close this. And to go back to my project, I'm currently in a chat. So I'm going to go back to my project in the top left here. This is my new chat now. So as Julia said, for those of you that weren't live on the call earlier, we want to try and create new chats because we don't want to overload the context in Claude by just using one really long, big chat. Is that correct, Julia?
That's exactly right. So what we want to do now is we'll attach the file that we've just created.
Yep. So I'm going to
No, just on the
open.
plus button in the chat. We'll just use it
Oh,
in the
yes,
chat.
that's great. I'll do it from here. Add file, and then I'll go to my downloads, job assistant, dental assistant job ad.
Perfect. And then we want to grab the prompt out of the guide, the next prompt to write us our position description.
Yep. So for in the Notion document under step number 3, I'm just going to take this chunk of code and I'm going to paste that directly into here along with this markdown file. Now, there were a couple of things we needed to update before we hit enter, wasn't it, Julia?
Yes, it will now check if we have the logo because it will give us a branded Word doc. So if you have a logo and you haven't updated it to your file section on the right there, it will prompt you to do so. So maybe we don't upload it now yet, Brendan. We'll just run the prompt and see if it actually asks us to upload a logo.
That's great. Okay, fantastic. So I'm just going to use it as is, exactly out of the Notion doc. Make sure that we've got Opus set and go next. I just love how these tasks, for business owners and managers inside of practice that would normally just take forever, Julia, can just now be so simply replicated using a research helper or an administrative helper in Claude.
Yeah. Oh, it makes a massive difference. And especially if you have to do this regularly because you hire for different roles or something might change too in between so that you do want to tweak it slightly and you don't want to reuse the same ad over and over again. Yeah, it allows you to do all of that.
I love it. Okay, so who does this role report to? Is it the practice manager?
The practice manager.
All right. So if anyone's following this live, you will see how quickly we've managed to get to this point. If you're watching this as a replay and you grabbed the coffee and started watching this replay, you're probably not even finished your coffee yet. And we're already at the point where we're, 2/3 of the way through creating an AI tool that's going to save you probably 10 hours a month worth of effort. Here we go. Claude's doing its thing. And the first question it's asking me is about branding. Is there a logo uploaded to the project that I should use? It hasn't found one. What should we do at this instance?
So you haven't uploaded it yet. So if we have a logo, then we click on the plus button and add a file.
Add file. So I haven't got one. Should we just skip the logo for the test project?
Yeah, yep. Just skip it for now and just say to it, you're happy for it to generate the Word document without a logo. Or just ask it to keep a logo placeholder and you insert the logo later.
There we go. That's great. Okay. The next branding question, which fonts would you like to use? It's already plugged that in the voice profile markdown file, we were using Times New Roman. Just use those, I'm just going to say. Okay. So it's going to read through some of our context. It's now building both files.
Yes, and very important, I know we skim read over it, but if you scroll up a little bit back to where it's actually given us the position description, this is the state when it's in the chat still where you want to make iterations to that. Because once it creates the document, it takes a lot more tokens to adjust it afterwards. So if there is anything that you read through there that you want to change it in the chat first. Ask it to give you the updated version in the chat before you generate the Word doc. So the Word doc should always be the last step.
Such a hack if you're wanting to preserve your tokens, team. For anyone that's hit their limits in Claude and doesn't want to keep paying unnecessary
Doesn't want to wait
fees.
4.5 hours for the 5 hours to reset.
Yeah, the lockout. We don't like that. So really good suggestion, Julia. If there's something that you flag in here that you're like, oh, I don't like it, then edit it there rather than going all the way to the end. Great idea. Okay, it's pretty close, and I can see why that music would have been important. I'm so sorry. It's not working for me today.
That's all right. One other thing too, like with the job ads and PDs, you can always make sure that you save a copy too. So later when you want to go back to it, that you can give Claude that as a base and say, oh, look, I want to re-advertise for this role, but now I want to change it just to casual. And it can go through and just make those slight tweaks to both the job ad and the matching position description. And over time, you will build a whole library of it. So it's
really good point. Really good point. And I think also probably one thing, I used to be a bit scared and afraid of playing with MD files when I first started playing with Claude because I was like, oh, the formatting doesn't work. But the truth of the matter is if you get used to using MD files, it's the native language that, Claude can read and interpret that and put its own formatting on. So don't be scared because it doesn't say .docx or this or that, MD files are not for you. That's probably just a bit of personal experience I had.
Yes. If you save the MD files, though, it takes less tokens for Claude to read it. So if you want to keep the templates as MD files, but for your practice, like obviously what you want to give to the new starter is not an MD file. So you would want to keep the Word doc. That is the doc that you pass on to your new team member. So yeah, it generates both for you.
It's given me both. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download the doc version and I can see that there is downloaded. And then I'm going to download the MD version. So if I, like Julia said, wanted to make changes to this particular PD and make a variation of it, I would use the MD version rather than the dot version to save tokens and credits. Let's just have a look at what that output looks like in the doc version. I'm just going to open that up now. There you go, guys. This is exactly in the format that we asked for, which was Times New Roman and Arial. The full role description is there and a sign off from your new starter once they start as well. Super cool, hey? Gone are the days where we used to sit there writing one of these things from scratch. You remember those days, Julia?
And the formatting, how long, even like when you had it on paper, how long did it take you to format it to make it look all right? So obviously we chose relatively standard fonts that don't look that nice, but I'm sure all of your practice's brand fonts are a lot nicer. So yeah, that will filter through the document and it will actually design it every time so that it looks exactly the same. Like it puts the logo in the same spot. It has the same numbering. It has the little footer with the page numbers and you don't have to do anything manually anymore.
It's incredible, isn't it? I could remember spending hours perfecting the formatting and making it all aligned, and Claude's done that in 3 minutes. So incredible stuff. Okay, so we've downloaded the files. I'm just going to take a bit of a stock on where we're at with the Notion doc. So we've completed step number 3. Now, because we don't just want to celebrate that we did this, job ad and role description, we got the role out there. We want to actually take this to the next level. We want to go, how the next time you open up Claude, you have this skill that you can just plug into so you don't have to go through the whole process over and over again. Would you like to do that now, Julia, with us?
Yes, let's do it. Let's turn this into a skill.
So I'm just going to copy this text and now go back to, shall I go back to the project?
We'll go into both chats. So we can start with the job ad one.
Ad, yep. Mm-hmm. So guys, just by the way, if you're looking for where your chats are, hopefully you've already been working in the new project as we did at the beginning of the call. All your historical chats are going to be here. So the first one we're going to go back to is the job ad. Yep. And I'm going to paste in here, Julia.
Yep.
A reusable.
And then we'll just use the job ad, just to remove the position description one because that's in the other chat.
So we've got now just turn that into, and just so I know what I did, I removed the position description bit because this chat is for the job ad. Okay, there we go. All right, so it's just going through and doing this now. And we're going to do this both for the job ad and we're going to do it for the the role description as well. Guys, if you guys haven't been building skills in Claude, this little journey we're going to go on in the next few minutes is going to show you how to save yourself massive amounts of time for repetitive things that you do. Say, for example, today it's a dental assistant, tomorrow it's an associate dentist, the day after it's a practice manager. You don't want to go through this whole process again and again and again. So this is why we're building the skills. It's just architecting the skills for us now while you can see that on my screen. Yes. Julia, just to kind of gauge how long, you've been playing with Claude and how you've got yourself to this point that you feel so comfortable to build this stuff. What's your journey in AI been like over the last few months or years?
Yeah, look, I think I started using AI probably a year ago. But these kind of things only came up probably half a year ago, relatively. Like Claude Co-work has only been around since February. And now just yesterday, ChatGPT has released their co-work version, which is called ChatGPT Work. So for all the ChatGPT users on this call, very exciting. You will have something that is very similar to Claude, because prior neither Gemini nor ChatGPT could actually build Word documents or edit Excel documents, which then they will be able to. So that is quite an exciting update there. And if you are building this alongside us on ChatGPT, this is called a custom GPT in ChatGPT, not a skill. For all Gemini users, for you, it would be called a gem. So yeah, same instructions, but you create something that is called something slightly different.
Yeah, really good. Really good. And you can also create a custom GPT based on past chats, right, Julia? So you can kind of, within the chat in ChatGPT, work with it to retain that knowledge and then create a GPT from it, right?
Yes. So every time, even in Claude, if you're not in a project, but you find you create something that is really helpful that you want to reuse, you can ask it to turn that whole session into a skill. So that way, next time it will exactly remember the steps that it took you through, and it can replicate it again and again. So that can be super, super time saving, and also making sure that it remembers the process so that you don't have to prompt it all over again. Wait, go back. No, do this now. No, last time you did this. So yeah, it will. How easy it is to just prompt it in a new chat and to reuse it.
Amazing. What's really exciting, I think, from what you're saying, I know a lot of our clients probably haven't really stepped into the AI space and really leveraging these tools for what they can do for them. But for someone like you to say, it's been 6-7 months since this tool is out and you've already got yourself to this point where you can confidently train other people on it, it sort of creates a lot of confidence for me that, you don't have to spend years perfecting one of these things to get to know how to use it and save you time and a significant amount of money in your business.
Yes. And the most important thing is just get started, play around with it. And you can ask Claude or ChatGPT to help you through the steps. So ask it, I want to achieve this. Now give me the steps that I have to take to get there, or write me a prompt. You can ask Claude to write me a prompt to achieve this outcome. Interview me so that you know exactly what I want. Ask me multiple choice questions, one at a time. That is the fastest way of getting through it. And don't start yet. Don't start building anything yet. Wait until you are confident that you have all the information and I confirm. And then we start building. And if you follow that principle, that structure, you can do almost anything.
There you go. I love this. I'm just thinking as well, I know Erin's on this call. Erin, how much time would this save you for a bunch of those job roles we've been posting lately? I hope you've been taking notes.
Oh man, I feel like if I were to I would usually put in maybe 2 or 3 hours, 30 minutes.
Yeah, this is going to be minutes, and so much more consistent with our brand and all of that sort of stuff as well. So values and voice, I just love how this is just pulling it all through in every future thing that this skill does is going to be consistent with that too. So here we go. It's given us an output skill. Now, what we do here is typically I would just go up here and save skill, but I'll let you guide me here, Julia, on what we do next.
Yes, so now it's even put our position description already in there with it. So awesome job. We only have to create that one skill and it does the whole thing. So now if you click on save skill up the top right, it will have the skill saved. So if you go back to the AI chief of staff and you go backslash.
So backslash leans away from the direction of text. So that's that one.
Oh, other way around.
This one,
Yeah.
/ There we go.
/ and
Forward
job ad
slash.
builder and job ad builder.
Job ad builder. There we go. So as I'm typing, you guys can probably see all the different skills I have set up on my account. So not all of you will have the same sort of skills when you press this button, but know what you're looking for. If you're looking for job ad builder, it's this one. That's the one we've just created. So if I click that, now what do we do?
So now basically we have that ready to go. And if you were now to, you could say, we want to recruit for a receptionist.
By the way, I'm just going to do a time check because I thought when you told me that we were going to do this in 60 minutes, I was like, nah, we're going to be pressed for time. For sure, we're going to be pressed for time. But we're well and truly under an hour. We've built a reusable skill. We've got an AI chief of staff, and we've got a job ad and a job description for a dental assistant. We're about to build one for a receptionist just for fun. And it's not even been an hour.
Yes, it is amazing. And like this one would be so much faster. But yeah, so if you go now, it would basically ask you similar questions again, but same structure as we did last time, but it would remember all our process without us having to copy and paste the prompts again that we've just used before.
Yeah. So now we can say goodbye to that Notion document because all those little prompts that we copied, pasted out of the Notion document was all we needed one time only. Because then we've gone back and created the skill. We're never going to need that Notion doc again. We just tag / job ad builder and it's all going to be there forever. I love it. Okay. Well, we can go through and, for fun, build a receptionist job role and a job ad. But rather than doing that, I'm just thinking, Julia, would it be worth doing a little short Q&A to see if anyone has any questions at this point over the next sort of 5 minutes? And one thing I just want to say is hopefully from those of you that have seen what Julia's done with us today, you'll see the massive amount of value that would be in store for you if you were to spend a day with Julia just focusing on building AI tools for your business, right? Julia, do you want to, before we go to Q&A, just talk us through the event you're running in Sydney with a bunch of dentists that you're going to be working with in early September?
Yes, so the event in Sydney is directed at practice owners and practice managers, everyone who basically has to do a lot of the operations, business admin tasks. And we will go through a whole bunch of tools to build this live with you. And it will be fully customized for your practice so that you walk away with all these features ready to go when you go back to your practice on Monday.
And I also want to say, there's this natural fear, and I see this in my own business, there's a natural fear that AI is replacing jobs. But I can assure you that AI is making people's jobs better. Nobody wants to sit there writing an SOP from scratch. So it's not going to replace the job. It's going to make a job more fun.
Yes, and it will allow, for example, practice managers to spend time actually with the team and with patients instead of having to write documents about how to do certain things. This is written by AI, they proofread it, they update it as you go, and you can fully focus on actually training your staff and also being there for your patients.
That's fantastic. Now, if you are a Searchbox client or if you're watching this replay, use the code Searchbox20. Once you've clicked this link and opened up the booking page, you will get 20% off to Julia's workshop. And this is going to be really, really fun. Julia doesn't have too many spots left on the day. So please, if you're interested, make sure you reserve now. Are you running any more of these, Julia, just out of interest?
We're doing the Sydney one, and then potentially we're looking at a Gold Coast one in November. But yeah, we'll start with the Sydney one. And if you want to head to my website, brightandboldconsulting.com.au, there are a lot of free guides as well that can help you just with little snippets and bits and pieces. We have like a one-on-one one and just a general like marketing copywriting one. So yeah, head to the website and check it out.
That's fantastic. Really, really cool. Now, guys, if anyone has any questions, this is a good time to just kind of ask. It's your opportunity. You've got the floor with Julia. I'm selfishly going to go first, Julia. If I was a dental practice today and, I watched this video and it really opened my eyes to what AI could do for my clinic, based on your own journey, I suppose from an operational standpoint in a clinic, what would be the first thing a practice should do, in terms of starting to implement these tools in their clinic? Is it the job ad, job role, that sort of stuff? Or is there some other things they maybe should do first?
I feel like it's taking a step back and assessing where your practice is at and what is the one big thing that would make biggest impact on the business. So what is that one thing? And that's the one you start with, because otherwise it can get a bit overwhelming. So if you choose that one big thing that would make everything else irrelevant or different, start with that.
Yeah, that's a lovely, lovely prompt. And I don't want anyone also to stop and feel paralyzed to not move forward because you don't know what to start with. Like, if it helps, momentum is just so helpful, right? In this instance. So just starting with a job ad is going to give you ideas to, oh, maybe we could do a job description, or maybe we could do this and maybe we could do that. And all of a sudden you start pulling one thread and you've got like 10 other ideas. So yes, momentum is key.
Momentum is key, because after the position description, you're like, oh, now do I have an onboarding process? What is my onboarding checklist? And then it's like, oh, okay, so now I've done the onboarding checklist from the terms of what do I need from the employee, but now what do they need to learn? So it's like, oh, now I'm going to make the first month of like, this is what I want to teach them in the first month checklist, and just goes on and on and on. And then it's like, oh, now I want to automate the one-on-ones. And so the opportunities are endless.
That's incredible. Obviously, another question that I have on my mind to ask you is, if I was a dental practice today, where should I invest? Should I invest in Claude? Should I invest in ChatGPT, or should I invest in Gemini?
I would say whatever your team is comfortable with using, and not say that it's not going to change in the future. So the models are constantly updating, and you might start building something on Claude now, and in half a year's time, ChatGPT's got to be, you find it's going to be much better. So I guess staying open-minded to that and not being completely narrowed down, but choose one that works well for your team and then stick with that for now.
Yeah. Yeah. And probably the other one is probably, open your mind out. And this is probably not so much of a question, but just more of a suggestion to practices that are live on this call, is open your mind out to using Claude or ChatGPT for more than just a chat system. Build the projects, create the skills, and really free yourself up from the time that it takes to create things from scratch as you go. Chat is probably level 1, but then to lift yourself up and start doing level 2 stuff like projects and skills, totally worth it. And it's got a huge return on investment later when you have to go and advertise for another role or something like that.
Yeah. If you think about it, chat is like talking to a new team member every day, because you're starting basically from scratch again. Whereas if you work in a project, think that team member has a memory and they remember what you've talked about last time. So you're not starting from scratch every time.
That's incredible. All right, Julia, we're right on the hour now. Thank you so much for showing us and our clients how to build your very own chief of staff for your dental practice. I really appreciate it. And for those of you that are thinking of getting along to Julia's session on the 5th of September, do it. I hope this has been valuable. Thank you again, Julia, so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely rest of your day.
Have fun, everyone. Take care.